Naruto 658 viewer comments. Before we really get into it, it's been pointed out by a few people here that Hashirama has chakra rods, right? In his back. He's got them placed in there from Madara, okay? And we know that Kishimoto is really big into the whole puppeteer thing. That's a reoccurring theme. The whole thing with Gaara kind of using Madara as a puppet, you know, flinging him around because he had the sand in there and all that. Now it looks like that Madara is going to be the puppeteer. He's going to have the first Hokage as a puppet, and then he's going to have Obito as a puppet, right? Because of Black Zetsu. Also, Obito's got the one eye, and I think even from what Black Zetsu was saying, because the whole thing with the Rinnegan, you know, the joint vision, that he's going to use him for vision. Okay, so that's at least 3 puppets, not to mention what other Zetsus are running around. Okay, so just want to make sure that there's some observations that other people have made, and I kind of pieced them together. And you'll hear this as we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Conley Bob 9. It was a very simple chapter, so not much to say. Most of it was setting things up for later. It looks like I was right about one thing last week. Madara has already sent White Zetsu off to collect his right eye, and he's going to be doing some damage with that before Obito loses his left. Subjugate those beasts. Madara with the blessed eyes of the Uchiha. Also, LOL, at how he could pop his eye in just like that and be ready to go. That was pretty amazing. The last part of it, when I saw, to me that was so confusing. I really didn't mention it because I'm like, what is going on? So yeah, getting his arm, the Zetsu's arm cut off in there, still attaching it, popping it in. That was crazy. All right, continuing on. I do have one major qualm with this chapter. As much as I love Madara, how in the world can he use Susanoo? Now, I'm going to stop here for a moment, okay? And I'm going to try to get through this quickly because I actually have some things that really do need to get done as soon as I get done with this and uploading it. How can you do it without your eyes? How is this possible? But then again, how is he absorbing ninjutsu? And I'm probably not saying that right. Jitsus, he's absorbing some. How is he able to do that? And the healing thing is the easiest because he has Hashirama in Sage Mode. But I think the answer to all this is going to be he's in Sage Mode because of Senju DNA, because of the first. He's in the first Sage Mode. I think that's how he can do this. Other than that, I don't know. But everybody, this has been the thing that I haven't heard a good. Some people have given explanations, but I haven't heard anything that's from canon that you can go back and say, well, chapter this or that. That's how this is an exception. So this seems to be a new exception to the rule. But then again, considering how he's configured, yeah, okay. So he's got Zetsu. He's got the first, which is okay. It's confusing. Continuing on. But this is just a reoccurring thing. People just have said, no, you can't do this. And as soon as I hear an awesome explanation, that would be great. And here we go. I thought you had to have 2 Mangekyo Sharingas to do that. I always assumed that this is why Obito could never use it, because he has only 1 Mangekyo. The same with Kakashi. He can spam the Kamui like crazy, apparently, so why can't he use Susanoo? Did Kishi create another plot hole here? In any case, I'm kind of disappointed, because if Kishi's going to go the route of having him fight without eyes, I would like to see him handle things without relying on his usual overused Sharingan stuff for a change. After last week, I was almost certain that he would summon the 1,000 hand Buddha statue to take the beast on stop. I'm waiting for this too. We're definitely waiting for the more than 1,000 fist statue to come down and lay down the law. All right, continuing on. I didn't see how else he'd have a chance to survive all these bijous at once. But apparently the strategy was let them slam around like a ping pong ball until Zetsu arrives. Whatever works. LOL. I still think that I loved watching that though. It's really entertaining. LOL. I still think that the statue's coming out at some point, as do I. Even with the Rinnegan, this guy needs all the cards he can get against all 9 bijous at once, as well as Naruto, B, and the whole Shinobi Alliance. What is this guy's plan? Maybe he's going to take fruit from the tree and become even stronger, like some people are thinking, but he's as confident as always. So he's up to something. Absolutely. By the way, what is with the evil Uchihas and their right arms? LOL. First Obito, now Madara. It's like their arms are cursed. Not just their eyes, and their arms. Or Kishi just hates right arms for some reason. In any case, it's a good thing that Zetsus are there to lend a hand. Well done. Well done, Collie Bob 9, as always. And A. Ishmael answers, LOL. I like the last part with the evil Uchihas and the right arm. And Hammond Willow throws in, you are an awesome review genius, Rampage. I wish I was, but I appreciate your sentiment. Thank you very much. The Thunder Powwow. That was great stuff there, by the way. The Thunder Powwow. Someone explain to me how the hell Madara used Susanoo to burst out the Gaara seal when he had no eyes. Does the Susanoo require Sharingan? This is bonkers. Expect to hear a fair amount of this, because this seems to be, other than Senju DNA, or that he's in Sage mode. Somehow he's using Hashirama's Sage mode to do things that he couldn't, evidently, or there's some other thing. But he was doing this before he got powered up, right? He was absorbing stuff before he got powered up. I don't know. The order of this kills me. Okay, I guess I got to stop here and say this. If he would have had his face powered up, I could say, okay, it's all that. But he was doing stuff before then, and then he got his eye too late, because even if you could have said if he had one eye, well, since he's unlocked it, he could just use the one eye to bring out. I mean, some people probably complain, but at least you go, well, maybe just to bring it out, you just need one eye. But with no eyes, and this, yeah, it's problematic. All right, and let's see. Okay, the Thunder Powwow. Thank you, Armin Gregorian. I think something needs to happen, Bijou's, because Madara isn't going to stop fighting with them until they die or something happens. And then obviously Madara isn't going to be defeated by Bijou's. I think there's a lot of ways to defeat him, a whole lot of ways. And like I say, I hope that it's definitely something to do with Gaara. And it looks like the way Gaara stepped up, it looks like that's what happened. The Gaara and the one-tailed Bijou is gonna make it happen. Hopefully, that'd be pretty cool. Miguel, 1979. Madara's Susanoo could be possibly because of Hashirama's DNA. In some ways, Senju and Uchiha sides could be that similar that it's possible to do that. Well, they do have a common ancestor. By the way, if Madara was able to copy Mu's body split jutsu with his Sharingan when he fought against Mu and Onoki, that could explain what Hashirama was sure that he killed Madara. And he actually did kill half of him. If Madara used body split jutsu at some point of their fight, that's why he has now young body, because it was from the young version that Hashirama killed. That's brilliant. I like that. Excellent, Michael. 1979. I like that idea. You know, since he died twice, it takes the earlier version, the younger version, the body split. Nice. That's why you read viewer comments. Excellent. Well done. And let's see. Hammond Willa. Maybe Madara has his original eyes after he came back to life, and those eyes are blind. Maybe the only reason he kept the Senju DNA is because he merged with it with his own, but the eyes never were his. Excellent. DT Ninja 831. I like how Gaara and Shikaku were able to implement their plan to seal Madara. We saw some great teamwork from all the Bijous combining their powers and their tails to take down Madara. My only complaint is that Madara's ability to use Susanoo seems to contradict everything about a Uchiha's ability to use the technique. Also, it seems to be true. Also, in Japanese mythology, Susanoo is said to have been formed by Izanagi and Izanami, so without eyes, it's not possible to be created. So is this a plot hole, no Jitsu? Maybe it goes deeper, and it has more to do with the ancestors of Madara, and the reason he has so much power and knowledge is because the mysterious person stole the secrets from his Senju. Just a thought. I'm still curious who that partner is. Now, the ending was cool. There was no need for a doctor. Just shove your eyes back into the socket, LOL. Can't wait for next week. Great reviews as always, Steve. Well, I appreciate it, and I know that you have a really deep anime knowledge in Japanese mythology. So, unfortunately for Kishimoto, what your depth of knowledge is showing that at least on that part of it, there doesn't seem to be a good explanation. Although the thing that really I do feel pretty solid that Kishimoto is going to give us a good answer. And right in the beginning, even the beginning, the first was like, how is he able to be? How can he be absorbing stuff? What does this mean? So I think Kishimoto's already knows that we're going to be puzzled. He probably has. There may be something else already in Madara beyond just the first. There may be something else there, or it was something that happened when they were powering up the bijous and everything. So that's a possibility. All right, let's see. Show less. Okay, where we go. Always appreciate your comments. Good stuff. Mr. Marcus, although there was a lot of action, and especially being that we don't get to see much action, I wish we had a little bit more dialogue. Well, let's get to it. Madara battling it out with all the tailed beasts, and he's getting his ass whipped. Still no real answer to what is really going on. It just seems that all he wants to do is fight, and I mean everybody's tailed beasts, all the Kages, Naruto, Sasuke. Like, really, what the heck does this guy want? Is it world domination? I just wish we were moving along with the story so we can get to the end already. we all want to see Naruto versus Sasuke and who or will become Hokage, but hopefully next chapter we will get more action, more dialogue, or at least for Christmas. All right, well, yeah. What was it? And somebody else will put it on here. It was high action. I'm just going to go to this comment. Let me go ahead and... No, I'll go ahead. But anyways, there's some people that have really kind of pieced together pretty well. You did a good job, but they actually really got shortly, succinctly right in the beginning on some of the problems with this. And I can't remember. I can't remember the way it was put. But anyway, Mr. Marcus, appreciate it. And let me go ahead and move on. I'm not going to skip on. Even though this is all random, it used to be pretty much by the time that you did it, and now the times are all random. So it's just kind of, it's even more crazy. But anyway, we really do appreciate your comments. Hey, let me see how am I doing on time? Oh, I haven't been doing this very long at all. Okay, ASML. Thought it was cool how Gaara used the sand to stop Madara's movements, and liked how the bijous kept tossing him around. Made me think of Gaara versus Lee. Madara talking big about them not getting away from them. He gets slapped into the ground by Naruto, who came out of nowhere. LOL. Bijus slap Madara around with tails, making loose an arm when the white Zetsu pops out and gets his right arm, right eye back, and new arm. Now we just need Black Zetsu to stop bullshitting around and get to the left eye back. Chapter was okay. It wasn't expecting Madara to get his ass whooped by the bijus after the first chapter, but after the last chapter. But it would be good nonetheless. Great review, Steve. You're an awesome man. Well, I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the positive comments. Really do appreciate it. And the awesome comments. Great job, everybody. All right, Conley Bob 9. I must say, Gaara has been coming in really handy this arc. He's the best character in the whole series, and definitely deserves to be Kazekage. He's the most mature of all the current Kages, even though he's the youngest. The Ninja Alliance would certainly be having a more difficult time in this war without him. I still want to see one Kage die before this is done. It won't be Gaara because he's died once before. And Naoki seems like a good guess because of his age, but I think he's staying, actually. The guy, he does seem persistent, doesn't he? The guy took 2 meteors to the freaking skull, and he came out all right. I think that he'll get to live to see the new world and the young generation creates. My first vote would be for Tsunade, hands down, but she has received some plot protection from Dan, so she's probably staying. Damn it. But the Red Kage can go ahead and die. Mizukage is the most irrelevant to the overall plot, so go ahead and kill her. Bam! Knocked him out. Yeah, Gaara's, well, I mean, the entire, talk about character progression. My God, to go from this kid with a horrible childhood basket case, dying, coming back, seeing, the power of friendship, and, really, and becoming the Kazakage. I mean, that just amazing, this character's, progression. It's just insane. I mean, he was just this mean little bastard that threatened to kill his own brother and sister if they got in his way. Holy cow. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Appreciate your comments, as always. The Thunder Powell. Itachi stated to Sasuke he got the Susanoo through unlocking the Susanoo, so it makes no sense Madara can do this. I looked around for a while, and I still haven't. There's at least a couple of people here that feel that they have what the answers are, and they could be, but like I say, nothing I can hang my hat on so far. Okay, Armin Gregorian. Is it possible that Madara might use Hashirama to fight, since Hashirama has those black things behind him, like Nagato? Did it depend when it could be Obito, Black Zulu, Madara, and Hashirama versus everyone? Yes, I read your comment earlier, and you're one of the people that I read from these comments right here and stated right in the beginning of the viewer comments. You're one of the people I got that from. So, yeah, that's the way it looks like. And I really appreciate it's amazing. Some people even sometimes just very short comments get some really, really insightful stuff. Like I say, I love the quality of the comments here. They're utterly amazing. All right, Armin Gregorian, once again, really do appreciate it. And let's see, view all 5 comments. G. Gorsey, and you got 5 people responding to you. I'll go and knock those out real quick. That was really good. Madara is not completely owning, but he still looks strong, and the force of the Bizu should be afraid of. I'm guessing the Senjutsu will act as a substitute for E.T.'s healing abilities. Madara loses an arm and gets a new one under 1 minute. It's so epic. He is going to have more to showcase since he has one of his eyes back now. Also, how was he able to use... if there was an inbox for Kishimoto this week, it would be, #1 topic, it would be, how can you use Susanoo without your... How can you use the eye abilities without your freaking eyes? Oh, God. Oh. Okay, where was I? Okay, I'm guessing this. Okay, Darley's in. Also, how was he able to use Susanoo? If he didn't have either one of his eyes at the time, and great review, Rampage, continue the good work. I appreciate it. Awesome stuff there. And you have 5 people responding to your comment. Hey, Ishmael. I think both Sasuke and Itachi used Susanoo without their Sharingans active before. If I remember correctly, activating it without eyes at all isn't that big of a jump, especially for the final boss Madara, LOL. G. Gorsey. The Uchiha power is ocular. We watched Sasuke go blind from overuse. The Sharingan was on display as much as Kurama. Now you're telling me that not needed because it's Madara? D from Dub. I do not know about the activation thing, but you need both eyes to use Susanoo. That was the rule. Madara had no eyes. He even said something about taking Sasuke's eyes to use them in the meantime. You got more comments here. It was good. But it turns out to still use the Susanoo without eyes. Wow. Please, guys, don't tell me it's the Senju DNA chakra. Oh, no. The explanation will be that once you achieve the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, you can use the eye technique even without eyes. That is why it is called Eternal. I see the point Rampage made about the fact that he is the villain and he can't be sealed like that, etc. Well, when Mr. Kishimoto do not seal him, write in a different way. Stop using plot nujutsu all the time. I mean, why does Madara have to get smashed by all the tailed beasts at the same time and get away with it just by losing an arm? To prove that he's the ultimate badass villain of the series, okay, fine. But why does it have to be sealed? To get out of it by using a technique he cannot possibly use to prove that what? That's cheap writing? I seriously do not want to troll here, guys. But everybody says Kishimoto is a genius. Well, not really. These situations prove it. He is extremely good at creating tension and mystery in chapters, and he's even more skilled with cliffhangers. He is really good at that. But when finally it's time for revelations and or to solve the uber intricate situations, he gets away with using cheap explanations of plot no jutsu. Anyway, sorry for the rant. No, ranting is awesome. As long as you get something to say. You have a lot to say, and you said a lot, and that's awesome. That's exactly what I say. But the only thing is, defense of Kishimoto, is the fact is we don't know if his explanation sucks, then you are on record. You've nailed it. But if he actually goes, okay, well, this is why. This is something that we as fans have overlooked, or maybe he will do a cheap thing, and here's a flashback, and now I can do this, and this is why. So we'll see. But like I say, to me, it seems like he knows what he's doing on this. He's already stated it. He's pointing out the things that he's doing. It's not like I can't see this being an accident on Kishimoto's part. Other than just intentionally trolling us, I can't see him just flat blatantly doing these things. All right, there's got to be something there, I think. But like I said, I could be proven wrong, and I have been before. I've been right and wrong. And on this series, I've probably been more wrong than right, unfortunately. All right, great stuff. Really do appreciate it. Actually, I appreciate your rant. Awesome. Hey, Ishmael. If you guys remember the Uchiha explanation, I think it was the second Hokage. What happens to Uchihas in their brain changes with emotional trauma, and from the results of those trauma comes an evolution and brings the Sharingan, upgrades the Sharingan, and then the MS. To use Susanoo, I think you don't necessarily need the eyes to cast it. So in theory, he didn't really need his eyes, just needed to unlock his MS. Hell, Itachi was rocking Susanoo blind. Not all that relevant, but yeah. Well, the idea was that I guess it changes the brain, actually. So I think I'm going to put words in your mouth, but I think that's what you're saying. You need the eyes to unlock it because there's a change in the brain, right? The Sharingan, and once that happens, then I guess you can just do it all the time. But we'll see. And G. Gorsey. Let's see. Okay, here we go. It would only seem right to come to this conclusion. If Madara can activate Susanoo without eyes at all, yet we've heard that you need the MS of both eye sockets to use Susanoo, then for the same reason it is likely that he could absorb chakra through the Rinnegan's abilities without the Rinnegan being present. Like when he absorbed Hashirama's Sage Mode chakra either. And he did it with Susanoo and no eyes. So, yeah, that's what really gets me. There isn't one problem with this series. The biggest, of course, is the Susanoo, but that isn't the only thing. So for me, it just feels like he's done this intentionally, if that makes any sense. He's showing, okay, there's something here, and hopefully he'll show us later. All right, awesome stuff and awesome replies. Dharma79, Rampage, it's time for the monogamous pairing of Sasuke and Naruto to show its true strength, since Madara is using the power of his man crush Hashirama, and will most likely turn the other Itos into his passive pain, requiring for Naruto and Sasuke to pound them all relentlessly into the ground. I can't wait to see what is next. I mean, why else would Madara stick his rods into Hashirama's rear side? Okay, that was intentional on your part. Alright, there was a great chapter, although I guess Kishimoto did it first, huh? And I'm curious to see what other methods Madara could possibly use. I do see a ginormous wood release in the future, and a Naruto one, and one with Uchihas. But makes me think, how can anyone fight him if he can absorb chakra? And exactly what kind of beast was Hashirama if he could constantly best Madara? Alright, here we go. Good stuff. And let's see, we're about 2/3 of the way done. Okay, alright, we're running a little behind. I got places to go. Okay, by Kizi. What I want to know is, how did Madara use his Susanoo without his Sharingan? I know if it was like in complete first form, but how did he do it without his eyes? Yep. G Corsi. I can't wait for its animation. Aside from that, we were fed a lot of rubbish in a short page chapter. Why make it short? Yes, Madara could take the beating like a champ. Quick recovery thanks to Senju DNA and Senjutsu. Yes, as impressive as those seals were, they could be broken down by sheer force since they are like a prisoner container, not a soul-type seal. But no, you just don't yank an arm and paste it into a severed arm just like that. Not to mention using it immediately. And worst of all, transplanted an extracted eye with all its connective tissues and placing, making its use immediately. And no, Madara can't use Susanoo without an eye. Susanoo is not a Kentani, cannot be used just because one possesses a Uchiha bloodline. It is a Jutsu executed with both MS eyes, not one eye, or not only one eye, or no one's eyes. Okay, so Madara using it here is more like saying Sasuke can use Jutsu in all these different abilities blind, and he nearly got blinded a while back. Not to mention saying Madara using the 7-pass Jutsu without having the Rinnegan just because he once had it, and when he was alive and in the ET, or a body can wield such power. Kishi do owe us explanation. White Zetsu, always the sacrificial lamb. So if Sasuke killed the original, which one is this? Now on that, there was a lot of Zetsus that were created, so yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that must mean Yamamoto is still alive and making more Zetsus for Madara back in the cave. At least Kishi explained why Hashi KB was absent most of the time. You're kind of getting into, you're bringing in other stuff that's been on the back burner too, Yamamoto and all that. That's true. There's a lot of other stuff that's been hanging out there way too long that we kind of really need to know about. It should have. I mean, and it isn't like he's wasted panels. Let's just all be honest. He could have thrown some panels and he could give us some more updates, so we kind of have a better idea of what's going on. So I have to agree. Okay. Here we go. By Keize. Also, do you think Madara could control people with rods like Nagato did with this page's 6th path? Hashirama has these rods in his back now. Yes, you were one of the people that I read that mentioned this, and I mentioned it right at the beginning of the chapter. Awesome pointing that out. Like I say, I think he's going to be Puppet Master for Hashirama and Obito using Black Zetsu on him. Alright, awesome stuff. Appreciate it. Ramel Seri. I see a lot of people going nuts after seeing Madara using Susanoo while having no eyes. That's right. That's it's amazing. He missed the big thing that would have made people go insane. Okay, sealing Madara. We're done with Madara, and it would still be, people would still be pinging off somewhere. Okay, he missed the big thing. But this is like, what? But why shouldn't be surprised about it? Because it has shown in the last chapter that he could, that his Rinnegan powers even without his eyes. He used it to control Hashirama and used it to take Amaterasu's flame away from him. It seems as long as you have mastered all the visual powers that your eyes have, you can use those powers even without eyes. That could be a possibility, but wow. I mean, even what about eye abilities? The one where you brainwash everybody every 10 years. I mean, you can. I mean, you're like, well, I've used it once, so every 10 years, even without the eye, I can use it. It sets up a lot of weird. I mean, it's definitely not the way most Naruto fans understood it was. So it's going to be pretty problematic, and it has been. Okay, and let's see. Wow, a lot of people are really making a lot of comments. Okay, let's see. NW Order for Life. You have a lot of people making some long comments about your comments. So let's read this comment and see what it's all about. You're the one that had the best. I like your short take in the beginning on this. You have a lot to say, but I like this. High action, low logic. that was great opener right there. Beautiful. Well done. And they're just getting started. No wonder you've got some people making some big comments on your stuff. How can Madara use Susanoo with no eyes? And we've heard that before, haven't we? And why can he instantly heal all that damage? Well, like, that seems... he's got the Hashirama head in Sage Mode. That I can understand. Also, how can he just pop an eyeball in his head like freaking Mr. Potato Head? This is ridiculous. This is really stupid. I get that he needs to be intimidating, but Madara has become haxed just from Hashirama's face. What a terrible villain. Best part of this chapter was seeing Madara pouncing around like a pinball. I enjoyed it. That was like cheap, but that was fan service. Then it was Gara Gara is a light in his arc. The paralyzing sin was epic, and Gara was proven to be a key factor in the Alliance strength. Imagine if Chiro didn't revive him. This war could have been far worse for the Alliance. Actually, there might have been an Alliance without Gara rallying to bring everyone together. Okay, here we go. Prediction time. Here we are. Next chapter. The entire Alliance gets defeated and Madara subjugates all the Bijus. Meanwhile, Black Zetsu is killed thanks to Kishimoto, or Kakashi and Minato. Soon enough, Obito, with his dying breath, tells Kakashi to give the Rinnegan Eye to Sasuke. Ooh. Obito dies with a smile on his face because he is able to be the old Obito and Kakashi and his sensei one last time. They are in proximity to make that scenario happen, excuse me. And Sasuke has lost his left eye. Madara gloats that he will win, and Minato and Kakashi teleport over to Sasuke and give him the eye. Well, eyes are just popping in all over the place, aren't they? Naruto and... I gotta itch my nose again, sorry. Okay, better now. Naruto and Sasuke fight Madara, with Sasuke being the main reason they win. But as Madara looks to be dead forever, surprise, his will invades Sasuke's body and Sasuke becomes Madara's vessel. Naruto versus Sasuke to the end in this manga. What I like is you can see a scenario where Sasuke gets both of Madara's eyes. I'm not so much into him being able to take over Sasuke, but then again, creatures in this, high-level creatures in any way that have some understanding don't tend to ever completely die or get sealed away totally, so could happen, but the possession part I don't see, but I like the scenario for getting the eyes. Alright, and you have got some 3 fair-sized comments that are actually pretty good-sized comments responding to you. Conley Bob 9. When I read through that part of the chapter, Madara getting slammed between beasts, this first thought in my head was, NW Order is going to like this, LOL. I agree about the Susanoo. I think that Kishi is caring less about the logic in his own series, which is a shame. But as he instantly heals, I just attribute that to Senjutine. It solves every problem. LOL. Remember that Hashi can instantly heal himself without using hand seals, just like Tsunade's power, but without the price of sapping his lifespan. So when Madara popped his Rinnegan back then, I think it makes sense that all the proper nerve synapses could have gone properly in place and reattached almost instantly. Plus, Rennegans are quite resilient. LOL. They're like an optometrist's dream. The Zetsu's arm thing was more far-fetched. But I guess I can see that working too, since Hashirama's power could close things up and heal it in the right place, the right way. This is the same power that allowed Tsunade to survive getting cut in half and then getting reattached. Here you are. Now that part, I do think was bogus. She should have died, but I digress. That's another reason I like Madara. Actually, he is the only character in the entire series who actually came out and said how much Tsunade sucks. Oh, NW Order for life. LOL, yeah. I love seeing Madara get his ass handed to him. I know how he instantly heals, but I don't like it. Tsunade had to activate a life-threatening forbidden jutsu, and even then it wasn't as good as Madara is showing us now. If Madara had just cast a jutsu or something after popping his eye back in, then I could buy his nerves being reattached. The nerves magically attaching on their own is just stupid. Tsunade cut in half, but it was Ketsetsu that healed her. Otherwise, she would have died. If it happened to Madara right now, then he'd heal himself in a matter of minutes, no doubt. Madara can take away Tsunade's greatest feat, though. She kept the whole village alive by herself, and Ketsuyu, she's still the ultimate medical ninja. Alright, and when Conley Bob 9 comes back with another comment, I think it can be safely assumed, though, that Hashirama's rapid healing pace is better than Tsunade's. Madara's ability to heal probably isn't all that better than Hashi's is. So if it seems hacks, then I think that the first should also be accused of being hacks, which is kind of is. Oh well. I think that Tsunade had been split in half for a fair amount of time before Ketsuya arrived. She managed to stay alive in all that time. She has done some great feats in the past, I won't deny it, but I think that she still pales next to the other Hokages. Probably isn't that impressive in a one-on-one battle. High physical strength is not at all useful in a ninja world. I think that any high-speed ninja with great ninjutsu could avoid her attacks easily and keep delivering her blows. The self-healing jutsu is her only trump, and always at the high price of shortened lifespan. Really great healer, not just a great fighter and leader. Her friendship ability is poor because as Hokage, she is too easily influenced by Naruto, who by all accounts is just another kid in the village. She didn't issue the execution order for Sasuke, who betrayed the village and joined one of her worst enemies. As Hokage, you have to sign the execution warrant for all missing ninjas, no exceptions. As Hokage, you have to put the safety and welfare of the village above the feelings and beliefs of one shinobi. Alright, awesome stuff here. And let's see. KX Mixer X brings up a character that has been very little in Naruto, but a lot of people like and a lot of people want to see again. It's great if Izuna somehow is resurrected. What have you all been doing with my eyes? Bam. A lot of people want to see Izuna again. Absolutely. GTR Master 2000. This chapter disappointed me. It was, what, 14, 15 pages? Let's go over what happened. Tailed Beast teamed up. Already said that chapter. Gaara Shikaku shoot him and slow him down. It doesn't work. The Tailed Beasts hit him with their tails and make him lose an arm. Still failed. Madara grows arm back. Gets one from the Zetsu in chapter. Essentially nothing happened besides him getting his eye from Zetsu. We knew he could heal already from the last chapter, and we didn't need to see that again, the same Tailed Beast teaming up. Now for my question. Was that his other eye, or did Zetsu take that back from Obito? I stopped and went and looked, and it's not the one. Obito, it's the other eye. Okay, so he said deliberately was the right eye, and that's the one that Nagato had, or it was stored. The one Obito's running around with is his left. Yeah, I went and worked it out before, so that's what it is. Okay. And that's what everybody else is saying also, so I kind of worked. But I actually went and actually spent some time making sure the right eyes and the left eyes, because Obito's still got his when they put the face together, he's still got his right eye as his original. So that's how I keep it there. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. Not for my question. Okay. I'm assuming it was the other one, and he doesn't use Obito quite yet, maybe even as a sacrifice. I know Madara is probably going to get about 2 to 3 more crazy power boosts, and it's starting to annoy me. After seeing Obito power up for 30 chapters, I'm pretty sick of it. Show me how strong he actually is in a clever fight that uses brains, not just his own powering up. This is like Dragon Ball Z, and Madara just going through the Saiyan levels. I'm drained. Oh, wow. tired of it, huh? Well, I had to say, like I say, I don't want it to end, but I think more, also, I think if there's a sliding scale of people in the beginning that were first, oh my gosh, it's going to end. It's like a small group of people are like, you know what, I want to see the ending of this. I've seen it enough. I want to see the end. And I think as this has gone on, I think the sliding scale is moving to where, like, I think honestly at least half of the fans are to the point like it needs to end. I love it. I love Naruto, but it's got to get to the ending. That's my feeling. That's my feeling. People are more fans are ready for the ending. Okay, because this is being dragged out too long. Okay. All right, let me see if I read this one before. Michael Gethman. I love the action in this chapter. Madara now has his right eye. This was a good setup chapter as Madara is in the process of getting his eyes back. Madara definitely got whooped bad in this chapter, but I'm very confident that he is nowhere near defeated. I think Kishimoto made a mistake when he allowed Madara to use his Sonu without having his eyes. That was Aijutsu, isn't it? I mean, that's the consensus. Although there are viable reasons it could be. So anyway, okay. And the last comment. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and Dharma 79. Rampage. The thought just occurred to me. I think Son Naruto will give Madara a speech along the lines of, he wanted to let Madara get to his full streak so he can beat him once and for all. This feels a whole lot like DBZ, Boo versus Z Fighters fight. If Sasuke and Naruto play rock, paper, scissors, after the fusion, earrings no longer work, and Sasuke gives a speech about pride for the chance to fight Madara, I'm going to lose it. Alright, that's going to go ahead and end it. Your comments are awesome, insightful, they're entertaining, very much enlightening. And I love how you guys answer each other's questions. I am not a guru. I am a fan. I'm just like the vast majority of people that read this. Every once in a while I make a good observation. But most of what happens in this is me learning as opposed to teaching. So your comments are phenomenal. I really do appreciate that. And I don't feel nostalgic, but I hit 40 on December 10. I hit 48. So I'm getting older. So people who don't like me being old, I'm getting older, and I'm going to keep getting older. And I've made, what, 450 plus videos on this channel. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going. All right, excellent. Everybody's awesome on here. Another great week. Can't wait to see what eventually happens. And in the end, whenever it happens, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, whatever, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane, the ending of Naruto. Anybody can be an anime fan. You can always subscribe. You can always unsubscribe. You can do anything you want to. Until next time, take care.